this is Josiah Plays Neverwinter Nights 2! The second of the Neverwinter Nights series of games. Also the final one. Unless you count the MMO Neverwinter, which you shouldn't. Unless you count Sword Coast Legends, which you shouldn't. So the second part of the Dilogy. Is that a word? I've seen it written. I'm pretty sure I've seen Dilogy or Dilogy written. You know, like you'd have a trilogy of 3 things. Well, if you had 2 things, it wouldn't be a trilogy, it'd be a Dilogy. But when you say Dilogy, it just sounds really silly. It makes me think of dildo. And I'm like, well, that doesn't seem like what you would call it. The Dilogy of Dildos. A diligent Dilogy of Dildos. Dipped in dill. You forgot an H in there? An H. I don't get it. Duology. Oh, yeah, duology I've seen too. But I'm pretty sure I've also just seen straight up dilogy. Like, let me type it in the chat. I'm pretty sure I've seen this word spelled like this, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not going to look it up right now. But duology, I'm pretty sure I've seen that as well. That's probably a real word. Anyway, it's Neverwinter Nights 2. I've now wasted the first 2 minutes of this video. If you're watching on YouTube, you're watching a video. First 2 minutes of it with the game pause talking about something really dumb. If this is the first time you've ever watched one of my videos, I want you to know this is what you should expect. This is not an aberrant 2 minutes. This is pretty much par for the course. Okay. Let's talk to Brother Mering and let's whoop some ass on these Mossfeld brothers in the Harvest Brawl! Look, we got our clubs. We are beclubbed. Beclubbed. Oh, those clubs look legit. They actually have studs and stuff. Damn. They're giving... Not only are they giving clubs to kids to beat each other with, metal-studded clubs. Like, what? You have a link on your homepage for YouTube that goes directly to the I didn't make a garbage tower video yet. I was going to right at the time, but then I forgot. I really need to. I need to cut just the garbage tower part out and make a video just of that. I don't know if that's actually possible for me at this point. It might be. Well, there would be a workaround. I could do it. But it sounds like effort. Somebody else could do that. Just gonna let that hang there. Alright, so anyway, let's talk to Brother Mering and do this Harvest Brawl, shall we? The Lannon twins and their elder sister will be your first opponents today. I gotta beat up their sister? That's fucked up. I mean, I have a girl on my team too, but still, I'm not the one that has to hit her. I don't want to beat up somebody's sister. Especially somebody's, like, underage sister. I mean, you're like, oh, but you're okay with beating up underage boys? Yes, because underage boys beat each other up. It's already what underage boys do. It's par for the course for them. I already used that phrase within the last 4 minutes. That's not good. Like, if you're an underage boy, you're already, like, expecting to get beat up at any given moment. Of course, that might just be my childhood, but regardless, typically speaking, young children, young girls don't beat the shit out of each other, typically. I guess, again, that could depend on your locale and your culture that you're talking about. You obliterated that training dummy, and now I'm going to be sent against children. Is this a mod for NWN? No, this is not a mod. This is the official game. This is the tutorial. This is actually the tutorial that I've been in Well, it is pretty old, actually. It is pretty old, Tords. This came out in, like... I don't know when the fuck it came out. 2006, maybe? Anyway. I'll go over the rules. Yes, go ahead. As always, I expect a clean fight. Melee attacks only. No arrows or magic. You may fight barehanded, or you may arm yourself with a training club. The choice is yours. And finally, no bets. I understand. We're ready to fight. The Thunder's strength be with you then. The Harvest Brawl. Alright, so... yeah, I don't need to know this, thanks. Alright, hold on. I need to do the most important thing first. The most important thing.
Bring it to me! I'll give it right back!
I have to taunt the enemy.
Attack! I say attack!
And I have to tell my people to attack. Alright, do I have any cool moves I can do? I have a... no, let's just get in there and beat some ass. Let's just go right for the... let's go right for this guy.
Please don't hurt me.
Yeah.
Forward!
Let's go!
Dude, we fucking wrecked them. That was well fought, all three of you. But I fear the gods have granted you few competitors this year. The Mossfeld brothers are the only team still in contention. Give us some time to rest first. Yes, better that you face the Mossfelds fresh. They have had ample time to recover from their last match, after all. As soon as you feel you've recovered, go and tell the Mossfelds that you're ready to begin. They await you at the edge of the ring. Alright, I don't think I really need to rest, actually. I suppose I will. I just wanted to check my journal. I completed all those things. And you're ready for your second match to speak to Will Mossfeld. Alright. Fuck it. We'll rest. We'll take a knee. Apparently taking a knee for 5 seconds gives you back all your health. Disturbingly large blood sprays. Don't worry. It's all perfectly safe. We have a priest of Lathander here. They said that before. Look who it is, brothers! Sweet Fire of the Silver Tongue. Brought your little girlfriend along, have you? She won't like the look of you tonight. Not after a few rounds in the ring with us. You say so, buddy. Stow it, Mossfeld. You're not smart enough to be funny. Who asked you, you ratty little orphan? Always tagging after Fire like a blood fly, singing his reeking praises. It's a shame those demons didn't burn you up along with your parents. Alright, listen, I don't appreciate the fucking way you're talking to her right now. Listen, motherfucker. That's enough! If you've got a problem, you can take it up with me! Did it restore all your spells? Yeah, it also restored all your spells. Harsh writing, yeah. Reekin. You're reeking praises. First time I've seen that. Fine then. You want my title? You'll fight my brothers and me. We've beat this brawl 3 years running. That must mean I didn't fight the other 2 years, son. About time! You've stalled long enough. You're so eager to fight, why not raise the stakes a bit? Make a friendly wager? Wait a minute, Will. That's against the rules. We can't do that. Brother Mering said so, remember? No bets. Well, I am chaotic good, so I don't really give a shit about the rules as such. I like the idea of betting, actually, so that I can make him lose money. It's like additional justice for being a dickbag. So, I am gonna bet him. Maring doesn't have to know. How about 10 gold? Oh, Bevel doesn't like that. Who the fuck cares what Bevel likes? Done. At least you've got guts. More than Starling has. Oh, and I shifted my alignment 1 point toward chaotic. Nice. I'm good with that, actually. Come on, brothers. We've got some gold to win. Your choices can alter your alignment and influence your companions. Yeah, I know. You lost influence with Bevel. Fuck Bevel. Although I will say, in this game, your influence with your companions actually does matter. Later in the game, it becomes pretty fucking relevant. Who you've made like you and not like you. Yeah, you can shift your alignment. It starts off at a certain number and then... See, it starts off at 14/85, chaotic and good. As the first number goes down, it becomes more towards chaotic. So 0 would be the most chaotic imaginable, and 100 would be the most lawful. The second number, 0 would be evil, and 100 would be the most good. So you start off 15 points away from the extreme on both of your alignments of what you pick. Word, web, and will. Can I do anything cool? Bevel? Would you like to do something cool? How about a knockdown? Knock him down. Amy, you can just beat that ass. My guy, I want to do something cool too. I want to do something cool. I want to taunt. Put that on the bar. I want to taunt someone.
Bring it to me! I'll give it right back!
I'll taunt Ward. I don't know that the taunt thing actually happened. Let's see what happened. Well, killed! Killed! Will Mossfeld. I don't think that's going to actually play out that way narratively, though. I think they're still going to be alive. Well, that dude's whooping Amy's ass. Alright, Bevel, you got this. I'm going to help out Amy over here. Bevel, did you want to maybe... Oh, shit. Amy's down. We win, though. Well done, all three of you. The townsfolk compare you to Cormac, and it seems they aren't mistaken. I haven't seen such prowess in years. You've won the brawl, and you've won the cup as well. Georg will want to see you at once. Thank the gods, Fire, for truly they have shown you favor today. Exterminated. That's right. Yeah, I'm surprised they're not making Kip fight too. Alright, so we beat these guys up. You've won the Harvest Brawl by defeating 2 teams of challengers. Your team has won all 4 events. Speak to Georg Redfell to claim the Harvest Cup. And you've won your bet with Will Mossfeld. Speak to him to collect your winnings. Poor Amy. They didn't even touch Bevel. They hurt me a little bit. They beat the crap out of Amy. Fucking assholes, really. Think about it. Alright, I got a light crossbow. You fought better than I thought. Or we fought worse. Pfft. Can't even hold my own against you and the dregs of West Harbor. I'm not gonna tell him don't be hard on himself. I'm not gonna tell him he fought well. You owe me some money, Will! Yeah, here's your reeking money. Now leave us be. Go claim your bloody cup and play heroes for Georg and the rest. He mad. You won your bet with Will Mossfeld, and he paid you 10 gold. 10 gold? Where am I gonna spend all that? Along with the 18 that I got earlier? Woo! Throwing coins in the air like I just don't care. Can I talk to Bevel about what's gone down? Oh my god, I can't. There's a lot of dialogue in this fucking tutorial. New dialogue with Bevel, what? Harvest Cup champions, just like Cormac. I never thought we'd beat those Mossfelds, but we did. How does it feel to be a Harvest champion? Well, I broke the Starling Curse. That's what they call it, you know. Ever since Lorne lost the Harvest Brawl, no Starlings won the cup. No more ribbing about that curse, though. That alone makes this whole thing worthwhile. Never mind. You know, I don't think I want to keep trying to do the evangelist voice for this character, because it's just not working out. I can't really quite nail it. And it feels really, really forced and awkward. So I want to do something even more awkward. In the vein of the original Fire Snake. You know what's going to happen. Saito, Nox, you're going to be delighted, I'm sure. Because, as Fire Snake is supposed to do, I must sing all of my lines. Never mind. Let's get back to the fair. In no way am I saying that I'm a good singer, because I'm not. I'm a terrible, terrible singer. And my singing won't even be consistent. It will be all different types of singing, completely out of tune, off pitch, whatever. I don't know enough about music to even know what the fuck tune and pitch even mean. There'll be fucking octaves flying left and right and shit, whatever the fucking octave is. Just random half-ass singing. And I like the thought that Fire Snake, in character, always sings that badly and that inconsistently and in so many different weird ways. Like, he's just nuts. He's just nuts. He's the worst bard ever. That's why he stopped being a bard and he's just a fighter now, because he's the worst bard. Alright, Brother Mering. You fought well today. This town should be proud of you. Your ability to beat other children is fantastic. Kip? He doesn't have anything new to say. Amy, near death? Hold on, let me take care of that. Hold on a second. I got skills for this.
Santos.
Cure minor wounds! Because it's a bard spell, so you gotta sing it.
Santos.
Cure minor wounds! That's all I can cast. We're done here. Alright, do you have anything new to say? What's the problem here? There we go. Nope. Okay. But Bevel did. That's why the women love him. I don't know why they love him. I don't know why they love him. Well, in fairness, he is really fucking good at social skills. A 7 in bluff, that's why they love him. Because he knows how to tell them what they need to hear, what they want to hear. And be very convincing. And 8 in diplomacy, too. See, that's the thing. He knows how to talk. And that can cover over a lot of sins, they say. They don't say that, but... It knows where to get all them dank herbs. Yeah. He can also tell them romantic astrological facts. Alright. You know, and he's got some perform skill as well. He can perform. Not singing, obviously. Or dancing. We know what his dancing looks like. Ready for it? Are you ready for the fire snake dance? There it is. Oh man. Oh boy. What a natural performer. Natural performer.
Jubilation!
Steeler Ramoa has got the hookup. Alright, let's talk to Georg. Because we're done here. We are finally done with the High Harvest Fair. I think that's the end of the tutorial. Finally. Maybe I should rest first. Since I, Alright. Fix it. Couldn't even keep up with his feet. I know, right?
Well played. Well played. You've won the cup. And all 4 events. Nobody's done that since Cormac. That warrants a special reward, of course. I have a harvest cloak for you, courtesy of the village council. It'll be yours at the end of the day. If there's anything you wanted to do before the award ceremony, now's the time. Maybe a mug of harvest mead to celebrate, eh?
Or maybe some well-deserved bragging. What's the point of winning if you don't get a chance to gloat? Oh my god, that was so bad. What have I done? What have I committed myself to again? It's better making dank memes than dancing.
I'll meet you at the stage when you're ready for the victory speech. Now, I'm off.
Oh, level... Dude, you level up twice in the fucking tutorial. This is what I'm talking about right here. Most XP awarding tutorial ever for a D&D based game. You miss Fire Snake so much. Alright, here we go. Let's level up. Your team has won the Harvest Cup. The victory ceremony is to be held on a stage near the wheat field. When you're ready to begin the celebration, go to the stage at the western edge of the fair and speak to Georg Redfell. Let me make sure I know what I'm doing with this level up. Checking my build, known as the Silver Tongue. Oh, it's too early. It's too early. I wanted this to happen as a result of in-game circumstances, but now in-game circumstances haven't. That's it. I'm just not leveling up yet. I'm just not leveling up yet. Fuck it. I'll level up Bevel and...
What's up?
Let's do a little taunt and a little parry. Have a good one towards gaming. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for chatting. Good to see you. And, I'll see you next time. Have a good night. Sleep well. Try not to fall over your keyboard, because that can result in things happening. Alright, what is he even... Mobility, blind fight, power attack, weapon finesse, power attack. Yeah, Bevel, Amy, and Kip are my final party for the whole game. Yes, definitely. 100%. 100%. Amy looks like she's got some elven blood. She doesn't look 100% human. Just saying. Heal. Alchemy. What else? Why do you have so many skill points? I guess listen. Stay a while and... She gets a feat too? Combat casting. Practice spellcaster. Spell focus, spell penetration, meta magic feats. She can brew some potions. Craft wondrous items. Brew potions sounds legit. Let's get some potions going. Ah, second level spells. Animalistic power. +2 to strength, dex, and con. For 3 minutes. Iron horn. 1 + 4. Blade weave. Blindness, deafness, that's a good spell. Sight, bull's strength, cat's grace. Cloud of bewilderment. What's the least useful skill of 3.5e? Well, there's real 3.5e and then there's this game. This game has some slight differences in the skill list. Like, there's no such thing as a parry skill. That's only in this game. That's not in real 3.5e. And there might be a couple other things like that. What was the most useless? I don't know. I have to look at the whole skill list again. Hold on. Most useless skill. Praise isn't super... Oh, craft trap. Well, I guess if you used traps, it could be good. I don't know. These are all pretty decent, though. Perform, but no, that's actually really important if you're a bard. Useless for everybody else, basically. In this game, survival's pretty useless. Could be really useful in actual D&D. Taunt might be the most useless. I don't... Tumble's pretty good in this and real D&D. Craft weapon's pretty shitty. Or craft armor. Because you're always gonna find as loot or be able to buy like magical weapons and armor and shit. Being able to make your own... This doesn't let you make magic items. This just lets you make your own fucking non-magical weapon or armor. Yeah, and then you could enchant that on top of it, but you could also just buy a normal weapon and enchant that. So being able to make your own... The only time it's useful is if you get some cool special materials, and then, you know, you have to be really good to be able to use those special materials to make something. So the crafting skills... Oh, and craft alchemy's pretty bad, too. I think you can make some good poisons with this at higher levels. I'm not really sure. I never really used the crafting very much. I never used traps. For me personally, craft trap would probably be the most useless thing on here. Because I don't use traps. I don't like traps. Praise isn't that great either. Gives you a better price with merchants, but it seems like it's a pretty small difference. The rest of them are all pretty good, actually. I mean, situationally. You don't need to have all of them with every character or anything. We're gonna see if we can get some potions going. Oh yeah, I was looking at the spells. There's a lot of second level spells to choose from. Plus first level spells. She's got all of those already. Oh, and 0 level spells, which... See, prior to... Well, 4th edition had at-will spells for wizards and everybody else, too. So prior to 4th edition, they didn't have cantrips like they have in 5e, where you've got your cantrips that you can just cast as much as you want, and they're offensive. There were things that were called cantrips, or called level 0 spells, but you didn't get them unlimited. You only got a few per day. And they tended to be very weak. So, like, here's Ray of Frost. In 5e, you get Ray of Frost as a cantrip, and you can cast it 10 trillion times without needing to rest. In this, you get Ray of Frost, and it's shitty, and it doesn't get more powerful when you level up, unlike the ones in 5e and 4th edition as well. And you can't... And you can only cast it like 3 times or something, and then you're done. And then you're back to fucking throwing darts or using a quarterstaff or something shitty. So, it's the pre-4th and 5th edition wizards that I hated so much. Because the fact is, they just didn't have that much stuff they could do at low levels. You'd use up all your stuff, and then all you want is to rest. And this is why it was always annoying being in a party with a wizard. They always want to rest. What was the point of them? They were just weaker spells for you to have. They'd always want to rest, and it sucked because, you know, you never wanted to rest because you didn't have time to. And then they'd always be crying about how they're useless because they don't have any spells left. And you'd be like, well, why did you blow all your fucking spells? You wasted good-ass spells on weak-ass creatures that you could have just let the fighter kill while you stood there and did nothing. But they don't want to stand there and do nothing. They want to cast spells. So then they waste their spells on shit they don't need to, and then they don't have any spells left, so then all they want to do is rest constantly. And then you rest, and you end up, you know, getting in trouble because you rested and wasted too much time. It's every damn time you play D&D with the fucking wizard back then. And then when they don't have any spells, they really are fucking useless. And then when they get really high level, they get all these ridiculously OP spells that just completely trivialize the entire game and do everything that every other class can do, basically. Not quite, but... And then the wizard, like, can just do everything, and it's like fucking Angel Summoner and BMX Bandit. Oh my god, if you haven't seen... I'm sorry if you're watching this on a video, this is probably really a lame part for you, but it'll be over soon. If you haven't seen this, you gotta fucking watch this video. Because it's fucking amazing. And it so clearly tells the difference between, like, a high-level spellcaster in older versions of D&D and anyone else in the party, especially, like, the rogue or something. Or it's also a really good indicator for classless, point-based building games where you can build your character any way you want, because then you have the power gamer that builds their character super awesome, and then the normal player that doesn't really know what they're doing, and they build just kind of a you know, normal character that's not that great. And the gameplay always turns out exactly like this fucking video. Oh my god, it's so funny. It's so good. I gotta... I'm not gonna play it on the stream, I'm just gonna link it, but... If you're watching this on YouTube, just type in the YouTube search bar Angel Summoner. That's all you gotta type in there, and you'll see Angel Summoner and BMX Bandit. And it's fucking hilarious. I mean, it's especially hilarious if you've been playing a lot of tabletop RPGs over the years, because you've run into this situation many, many times. Okay, sorry about that. So, what skills is what spells is she gonna take? Oh man, there's so many. And plus I hate picking spells. so many spells to pick from, and I don't know which ones I want. Knock is good, but I don't need it. You can generally open anything with open locks in this game, I think. You never really need knock. I think I never cast knock ever when I played this game. Scorching Ray. Snake Swiftness. 1 round haste? I don't think that's very good for blowing a whole 2nd level spell slot. 1 round of haste? No, that's shit. Cautious Hideous Laughter. That's a good spell. And... visibility. Go. How much longer are we having? I don't remember. I mean, I'm keeping her till the end of the game. What? I don't remember if you have to go through a whole fucking adventure with her and with these people, like a whole dungeon and everything with them, or not. Can't remember. Weapon finesse for the kid. Alright, now Kip has more hit points than me, but that's because I haven't leveled up yet. Alright. Now then.
Step behind me. Follow, my friend.
Let's go talk to Georg. Just want to make sure nobody else has anything interesting to say before we do this. Amy! Too far away. Why is she too far away? Is she stuck on a barrel? Is that what's happening? Stuck on a feeling, I mean a barrel? Okay. How about we
What
just
would you like?
make sure. Like, I don't know if any of these other people... No, they're not going to have much else to say at this point. Like Tarmus?
Best I keep quiet, lest anyone think me sociable.
Dagon?
You are the winner of the cup, it seems. The news is on everyone's lips.
I am no danger.
It's because I'm awesome, Dagon. Also because it was really easy. Yeah, Kip is a beefy little kid. He's going to max out his girth slider when he grows up. That was a wonderful performance today, Miss Fern. Oh, Webb Mossfeld. Now good to get beat for a change. Don't tell Will I said that, though. Interesting. Feeling the merchant? Good trading with you. Give Dagon my regards, won't you? What have the roads been like lately? Truth be told, I almost didn't come this year. The mayor's gotten strange of late. Lizardlings have been spotted on the road, and there's rumors of darker things prowling deeper in the mare. That's why I brought these two fellows with me. A few days back, we saw a pair of the scaly folk at the edge of the road eyeing us up. Then we showed them some steel, and they ran back enough. They ran quick enough. Sounds like lizardlings aren't very brave. Oh, they'd be courageous enough if you stumbled into one of their nests, but the roads are as strange to them as the swamp is to us. Well, to me, anyway. I can't speak for you, Harborman. You're a strange lot. Where did you find the sellswords? Oh, them. Hired them on in Neverwinter. Ex-Grey Cloaks, I think, but I didn't ask too many questions. Good fortune on your trip home. Thanks for the kind wishes. I doubt I have much to fear from lizardlings, though. Or do you? Are lizardlings just lizard men? Yeah, to the best of my knowledge, they're just talking about, well, lizard folk. Lizard folk. Preferred nomenclature. Talented and handsome. She's talking about Bevel. Thank the gods those Mossfelds didn't win, so they are saying different shit. Well, some. Yeah, we've heard that before. Ma, thanks for the help. Oh, pardon me. I'd like to think the man in green is Canadian. He seems kind of Canadian to me for some reason. He's come from Canada and he's got green clothes on. He's the Canadian man in green. You know what I need to do real quick, just in case? Alright, summon enlarged person. What? I don't... Oh. Bump, 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 bump. Acid Splash, get out of here. Daze, get out of here. All Ray of Frost all the time. Level 1 spells. Color Spray. Have I ever told you guys about Slowpoke? Have I ever told you the story of Color Spray? The prison story? Not sure what green... Well, no, it has nothing to do with... He's not from Canada because he's in green. He just happens to be in green and he's from Canada. He just reminds me of a Canadian for some reason. Even though he's had almost nothing to say. He said it in a Canadian manner. I wish... The story is better told when you can actually see me. Because I have to do a certain hand gesture that's critical to the story, and I can't do the hand gesture, obviously. Color Spray. Fucking Slowpoke. I had a celly named Slowpoke. He was a tattoo artist. He was also a big-time gangbanger. And, you know, he was in a Mexican gang, and he had lots of tattoos, and he did lots of tattoos with a jury-rigged, homemade tat gun. And so there'd always be people coming to our room. That was when I was at Fort Lyon, and I was in an 8-man cell. Wasn't great. It was pretty big for a cell, but there was 4 bunk beds in there and 8 people sharing it, and it was really tight quarters with the 8 of us. So one of the 8 was me, and another one was this guy Slowpoke. That was his nickname, obviously. Or SP Rowe, as he called himself. And he would always, like, refer to himself as SP Rowe. And I asked him one time, what does SP Rowe mean? And he said it means Slowpoke rules over women. I was like, okay, dude. You go with that. But anyway... ended up playing some D&D with him. There were a few guys in there that wanted to play D&D, so we played some D&D, and he decided to play a sorcerer, and one of the spells he picked was Color Spray. In fact, it was his favorite spell. He used it every fucking chance he got. And he would get so into it, he would, like, stand up and do this whole hand gesture thing, like he was casting the spell, and every time he would say it, like, he'd be like, Color Spray! And he'd, like, throw his hand out there in, like, this sort of, almost hand gesture, almost sort of like like Spider-Man casting a web or something. And he would, I mean, he was so into it, it was hilarious. Every time, color spray! He'd be like, oh, alright, Slowpoke, what does your character do? He'd stand up, color spray, and do the thing with his hand. It was amazing. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in D&D. He did it every time, too. Every time. He would never just say, I cast color spray. Every time. It was beautiful. So whenever I see the spell color spray referenced in any context, that's all I can think of. Well, the thing about this prison scum save is, we shouldn't have been there at all. The Department of Corrections bought an old VA hospital that was all derelict and broken down and had all this damage and shit, and then had been abandoned for years and years. So they bought it for a song, because it was this abandoned, derelict property, and they're like, we're gonna turn this into a prison, because they needed more facilities, because they were overcrowded and they didn't have enough facilities, and building a whole new prison would have been ludicrously expensive. So they bought this old VA hospital. So the thing that was weird about it was there was all kinds of rooms of different sizes in these old buildings. It almost looked like an old college campus if A, a college campus had been through the fucking Armageddon, and B, it was made by crazy people. When I first got there, they didn't even have the fence done. Like, I could have just walked away. Of course, you don't do that, because if you do that, you know, you get like 3 years added onto your sentence, and it's bad news. And you also get sent up to fucking like max or some really high security, because now you're a flight risk and your security classification jacks way up. So you don't. So they took people that were already in minimum restricted facilities in different ones in Colorado that like were exceptionally well behaved and had really low points. You had a classification system that was like reviewed every 6 months, where they assessed your points, quote unquote, and your points would tell them what kind of facility you could be in or should be in. And your points would be based on a lot of different things. They'd be based on, the biggest thing they'd start off based on is what crime you committed, of course, and what your previous record was, and what your institutional record was in terms of getting in trouble, getting written up or whatever. If you'd ever absconded or escaped or been a fugitive, your age entered into it, your education level entered into it, reports from your, like, mental health and people that you know, officials you dealt with in the prison about your personality and everything. All this shit entered into it, and they came up with a score. They'd come up with a score, and like I said, they'd change your score every 6 months. And if your score went down below a certain threshold, they would move you to a lower security prison so they could make room in the higher security prison for people that had more points. And so they took a bunch of people with really low points that deserved to be in a fucking minimum security prison, and instead moved them to this shit piece, which was actually medium security. I mean, it was supposed to be medium security. It was eventually medium security. At first, it was still being fucking built. I mean, repaired and retrofitted into a prison. So they were still, all the fences weren't even up, and the buildings had all kinds of damage. There were holes in the roof, all the windows were smashed out, the stairways were all crumbling and super unsafe and shit, the ceiling was falling down. I mean, it was a bad place. And they moved me there in fucking winter. So it was cold as shit. We didn't even have glass panes on all the windows. Some of the windows were just open fucking holes. And, so this was our reward for not being a flight risk. Hey, you got low points. Instead of sending you to one of the really nice camp, like minimum security facilities we've already got in the prison, where they have the run of this really nice place and all these privileges, no, we're going to send you to Fort Lyon. That's the name of the place. It was Fort Lyon. They didn't have a library. They didn't have a gym. They didn't have shit. They didn't have basketball courts. They didn't have handball courts. I mean, all the things. They didn't have a weight pile. All the things you would normally have in any other fucking prison. They didn't have any of that shit there. And we didn't even have windows half the time. So they moved us there. And because there were all these rooms, and I don't know who designed this fucking hospital, but it was weird. Because like I said, there were all these rooms that were different sizes. There was no uniform size room in the whole fucking place. So they just adapted to that. They said, okay, we're going to take these different rooms with different sizes and just shove as many people into each one as will fit. So some people had rooms that was just them and one cellie, like you would typically have in most places. And some people were in rooms with 4 people or 6 or 8, and a couple of them even had 10-man cells. So I got shoved into one of the 8-mans, which was not ideal. Anyway, so, and Slowpoke was one of my cellies. End of story. That's also, I remember telling you guys the Vincent Black story. Vincent Black was another one of the guys that was in that room with me, at that place. And it was in that room where he fucking knocked that kid out. That kid, Jason. It was awesome. Anyway, story time is over. Eventually, though, I was at Fort Lyon for like 3 years. So, during the time I was there, they did fix everything up. They did put a library in. They were just finishing the gym when I left. So they made the place much better before I left. But when I first got there, man, the place was a joke. And it was sad, too, because I had come from a really nice place before that. I was at Buena Vista Minimum Center before that. Hey, Dennis, good to see you. How you doing? We're telling prison stories. Feel free to chime in with any of your own prison stories at this time. I was at Buena Vista Minimum Center, which was the minimum security facility right next to Buena Vista, which is a medium closed, which is basically like almost maximum security. Internally, it's the same thing as maximum security, except for it just has one fewer fence, and it doesn't have a kill fence. So, it's called medium closed. That's what I was in first. That was the first actual permanent facility they sent me to. Of course, they say permanent facility. It's not really permanent because they move you around all the fucking time. But I was there for 6 months. That place was hardcore. Place was like prison in the movies. You had the sliding barred cells and fucking lots of fighting. I saw a guy get fucking cracked in the side of the skull with a weight plate at the weight pile, and the whole side of his skull got caved in and his eyeball was hanging out. It was pretty awesome. I mean, it wasn't really awesome at the time. It was horrifying at the time, but, you know, looking back with the hindsight and the distance of time and stuff, I can say it was awesome. But then I was really good while I was there. I didn't get any trouble or anything. So then, like, to reward me, they moved me next door to the facility next door, which was the minimum center, which was really fucking cool. We had our own spacious 2-man rooms with everybody had their own desk. They had their own little closet sort of area where you could hang stuff on hangers and had big old spacious drawers to keep stuff in. We had keys to our own fucking doors. You could just go in and out of your room. They didn't even call them cells. They just called them rooms. You could go in and out of your own room anytime. I mean, there were times you were on lockdown as normal and you weren't allowed to come out of your room. But physically, there was nothing stopping you from coming out of your room. And there was a nice library there. I worked in that library, actually. And there was a nice kitchen there, and a nice gym, and a nice outdoor recreation area with a yard. And, I mean, that place was awesome, right? And I was like, yes! I'm happy to do my time here, because I had 3.5 more years to do. Because I had to do 4 years, and I did 6 months of it in Buena Vista. But, so I had a lot of time left to do. So I was like, this place is great. I'm totally happy to do my time here. This is rad. And then, so 6 months later, they reclassify me and they're like, hey, guess what? Your points are really low now. You qualify for a minimum security. The difference between minimum and minimum restricted is kind of minor, but I was in a minimum restricted, which is a little bit higher security rating than just pure minimum security. And I'm like, great, that's cool. I don't want to go anywhere, though. I'm happy here. And they're like, no, facility needs. We've got to move you. So I'm like, all right, well, whatever. It's going to be minimum security. How bad can it be? And they're like, actually, we're moving you to a medium security. I'm like, what? Hold on. You just told me my points dropped. and I qualify for a minimum security. Why the fuck would you move me to a higher security person? Facility needs. See, they can always circumvent the system of what points put people in what facilities anytime they want and just call it facility needs. We need to fill this fucking place up with people that we know aren't going to run away. So regardless of the fact that you have low points, we're going to put you in this medium security, fucked up, crumbling, fallen down, apocalyptic place. So anyway, that's how I got to Fort Lyon. And I was not happy. I was not happy at all. You were in prison in Skyrim, Dennis? Well, that's cool. Housing transgender inmates? I don't remember any transgender people there. There was a transgender guy at Buena Vista when I was there. It was decommissioned in 2012. See, I was there from 2002 to 2004? Or 2001 to 2004? 2004 is when I got out, and I think I'd been there almost 3 years when they first opened the place up. Decommissioned in 2012. Well, I'm glad it was decommissioned because that place sucked. Did you ever grab a hidden shank from a large stock pot in the kitchen and shank a gang leader with it? No. No, I did not ever do that. I never shanked anyone. I never owned my own shank, although I had co-usage privileges of a shank with my first cellie in Buena Vista. The first thing he told me when I got in there, he was in there for murder because he had accidentally, he says, killed his best friend. And normally he would have only gotten maybe manslaughter and it wouldn't have been much of a sentence because it was an accident, allegedly. But then he hid the body because he was scared. And when you hide the body, they're going to charge you with fucking murder, whether it was an accident or not. So he hid the body, so he ended up getting 18 years. So he's in there doing his 18 years. And he was a white supremacist guy who really, really hated people that were not white. But fortunately for me, I was white, so he didn't hate me. But the first thing he fucking told me when I came in there, when I first got to Buena Vista, was he told me he had a shank hidden along the top of the sliding door to the cell in the little groove there. He showed me where it was. He said, if you need it, you can go ahead and take this out and use it. And I was like, alright, thanks. Good looking out, bro. I really hope I don't. And I didn't. But no, I never strapped myself with phone books in preparation for a huge shank war either, unfortunately. Well, no, fortunately, is what I mean to say. Anyway, that's the end of story time. It's also the end of this episode. I'm sorry if you're watching this on YouTube and you're like, what the fuck? This is the worst gameplay video of this game I've ever seen. All he does is sit there and talk. Sorry, my bad. It's not always this way. Although it is this way sometimes. If you're watching the stream, I'm not done. I'm going to continue playing. If you're watching on YouTube, that's going to end this episode. So thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Kinda Plays Neverwinter Nights 2.